Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah. Now it has become so mechanical.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining this inauguration ceremony, sir. Sir, with your permission, on your behalf, I will cut the entrance ribbon. Then I will
Yeah. Sure.
inaugurate the lab, sir.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Please go ahead.
Good evening.
It's the new lab. You can see this. He's the director.
Mr. Saraj, please come inside. You come. Please. Salary. YouTube live. Please. These are all our research scholars, sir. PhD scholars in the departments of mechanical, physics, and sciences. I request everybody to please take this.
very good afternoon to Professor H. Ranganath, Chairman Board of Governors, Triple ITDM Kurnool, Professor Someyajulu Garu, Director Kanchipuram and Kurnool, my dear heads of the departments, colleagues and staff. So I welcome you all to the inauguration of two labs. One is the language lab, the other one is the high performance computing lab. Now I request Professor H. Ranganath Garu to please kindly press enter. Thank you, sir. Thank you for inaugurating the labs virtually. Now, I kindly request you to deliver a talk to the audience. It is.
Good afternoon. Could you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So at the outset, please accept my sincere greetings and well wishes for the new year 2022. And I take this opportunity to extend a very warm welcome to all the faculty of Triple IT Kurnool, the distinguished director, the members of the Board of Governors, members of the Senate, members of the Academic Council, Building Committee, and the Finance Committee. So because of the inputs, suggestions, and cooperation extended by all our distinguished members of all these statutory bodies, our institution is growing well. It is just 6 to 7 years old baby, and now gradually we are limping, and now because of the COVID and also some restrictions because to do certain functions, we have to have this online inauguration. Again, at the outset, I congratulate the director and his entire team. So what is reflected on the campus today is due to the inputs and the hard work of the entire team. I may recall here, 2.5 years back when I took charge as the chairman of the Board of Governors, and almost on the same day, director also reported. Till then, for 2.5 years, or almost 3 years, the institution was mentored by Triple IT Kanchipuram, the then director Mahaji. So this is a very pleasant occasion for me to recall the services and the vision of the mentor director of those days, who laid a very strong foundation. This time, if you see the time, all of you make institution. So I place on record the help and the cooperation extended by Dr. Mahaji on this occasion. And during the last 2.5 years, because 2.5 years, director and his team has put in a lot of effort to bring this institution to the present level. So again, I of course, I have to say that MHRD also extended total support to us, and it is growing well, and I hope the growth will be sustained in the coming days. As you know that today we are trying to inaugurate, we have inaugurated 2 labs. At this juncture, I may say that the National Education Policy 20 has emphasized 2 things. One of the issues is the multidisciplinary approach for every course, whether it is law, engineering, or basic sciences, or liberal arts. Every course has to have a multidisciplinary approach. Throughout the document, this is emphasized. And equally important, another buzzword here in the National Education Policy 20 is the skill development. And now to bring about a relationship, a correlation between the knowledge that we acquire, the knowledge that students acquire, the knowledge that the faculty to deliver and share with the students through interaction mode or through multidisciplinary approach or even transdisciplinary approach has to be translated. This effective translation of the knowledge acquired and delivered during this student-teacher interaction depends on the skills they have acquired. So to achieve this, Government of India has constituted a committee. The committee is called National Higher Education Qualification Framework. National Higher Education Qualification Framework. And this National Higher Education Qualification Framework decides what are the skills to be given to the students during their course of study, starting from school education up to the higher education. So all marks to show what are the skills that have to be present there. And now every curriculum, every course has to have an added program. It could be accredited or it could be credited, audited, but the students have to take certain additional programs as defined, suggested by the National Qualification Framework. And what the National Qualification Framework will do is, it is guided by, there's another body called National Skills Framework Committee. National Skills Framework Committee. That means 2 verticals are available now, qualification framework and skill framework now. These 2 things work in tandem. Earlier it was not there. Somebody else was doing something, and now 2 bodies, 2 verticals which are interrelated. One decides the qualification framework, and within that qualification framework, what are the skill framework has to be there. So these 2 bodies will be working tandemly. The main intention, the bottom line of all these things is to make sure whatever knowledge the students have acquired will be professionally delivered. That is more important. It will be professionally delivered. With minus skills, the knowledge will have no value. So like that, every institution has to have the skill-based curriculum. And of course, the nature of skills that we require depends upon the nature of the course that are being offered, or the anatomy of the institution, the way the course is being offered. But whatever may be the course, whatever may be the institution, every course has to have a skill component. That's why those who have gone through the National Education Policy, there is a multiple exit provision. Multiple exit means after first semester or first year. That means after 2 semesters, students can exit. But by the time they exit, whatever the majors, they have to acquire certain skills. So with these skills, they must be in a position to get some employment. Similarly, after that we call it as certificate course. After 2 years, that means after 4 years, with some more acquisition of skills, they will get a diploma now. That means throughout their journey, right from the start of higher education till they go to the postgraduate studies, gradually over a period of time, they are expected to acquire skills of different types depending upon their interests. That hitherto it was not like that. If I have a major in physics or mathematics or any one subject, you used to concentrate only on that. Today it has to be different, and students simultaneously have to Now there has to be a gel between the skills and the knowledge we deliver. So because of these things, new education policy has philosophically have suggested skill-based curriculum has to be there, irrespective of the subject, and this must be delivered effectively. The effective deliverability of this depends upon the labs. Even, for example, basically I'm a biologist. Even in biology today, we have language labs. Today we have just now we inaugurated a language lab. It will be computer based. Your purpose is different, and similar a language lab in biology lab would be different. That there we want to understand the languages of the birds, language of the fishes, language of the insects, etc. So that means communication, whether it's an animal or a human being, communication is the key now. As long as we communicate effectively, the message is delivered. So we try to understand how frogs sings or how the birds make a noise. Every word has a meaning there. Similarly, the language that what you practice in computer language, of course, now to start with, we have to acquire more and more softwares to use different languages, and therefore language is the basis for communication, whether it is biology or history or economics or computer science. So therefore language lab is a must for all of us, and just now we have inaugurated, and this, my perception is, this will help the students to professionally understand what is happening in the softwares, etc. As you know that IIIT Bangalore is known for language systems. Similarly, IIIT Hyderabad is also known for some other language systems. And therefore, already Somayajulu has started interacting with these reputed institutions where language is very effectively an effective component of research. Therefore, it is my pleasure, with all pleasure, I have inaugurated this, and this should be a course for all. We may have different branches at IIIT Kurnool. Every branch must have, students have to take this particular course. Therefore, I congratulate Somayajulu again for venturing this, and with all pleasure, I have inaugurated it. And in due course, I only expect this center, this IIIT Kurnool Center, must be a training center not only for engineers, even for the neighborhood colleges. So, which I call it as institutional social responsibility. That means all institutions in and around Kurnool or near around that area, they may not have the language lab. Therefore, as an institutional responsibility, ISR, you can extend the facilities available with you to train students and the faculty in the neighborhood area. So finally, many a time our Honorable Prime Minister has asked, what have you done to your neighborhood? So now this is one lab that can extend this experience and expertise to educate the neighborhood, sensitize the neighborhood. So I'm sure Somayajulu and his team would organize some workshops, some refresher courses for the institutions in and around IIIT, so that the presence is felt and also social acceptability will be there. So another lab which is also skill oriented, high performance computer lab now. Particularly in the last 2 years, we have seen how important it is today to have a knowledge of using online education. Online education, because knowledge is available, information is available, but somebody has to pack it in an appropriate way so that the students and the teachers could be benefit out of that. Therefore, and this has to happen at a rapid speed and more effectively. That's why I said all these skills are given to students, and teachers have to learn these things, and professionally you can deliver things. Students can professionally organize things. Particularly communication and high performance computer systems provide additional skills to the students. So I'm sure that already could see many computers are there in the lab. I hope that this also could be utilized to develop some programs, some courses to the students in the neighborhood colleges. So with these two labs, I'm sure now at IIIT Kurnool, we have about 7 labs now. Within the last 2.5 years, we have established almost 7 labs. For example, what I have understood is Internet of Things, one lab. There's another is very large scale integrated system, the computation lab. All these labs have come out in the last 2.5 years. There was no building, it's a barren land, barren terrain, and on this terrain today, you can see the academic growth of all these different disciplines. In the coming days, these 2 labs will be added on, and in the next year, 22 to 23, during this financial academic year, we hope to have 3 more labs. One lab is for AT, that is artificial intelligence, another is machine learning, and another is data science. So 3 more labs are likely to be added during this particular financial year. And of course, there are already sponsors to take care of with the support of the government, and also the sponsors. We are likely to enrich the campus with 3 more labs, one for artificial intelligence, another is machine learning, and another is for data science. And one more thing likely to happen is, I think Somayaji will tell you later on, a training center for drones. It is likely to come officially. MHRD has to announce it. So I will not go into the details because officially it has come into existence. So like that, as you could see here, we have a very ambitious plan because so far we are successful in building the labs, initiating these processes, and complete logical to bring them to the logical end. So with this spirit, with this enthusiasm, I am sure the entire team would go further to build this institution, because you know that all these IIITs have been given the title of institutions of national importance. So we have to stand by that. We have to come to that level within no time. And as you have seen, this ranking, that is AITL, that is based on innovation. Based on innovation, the Ministry of Education is ranking. So within 2.5 years, our institution has been branded as an institution of promise for further growth. So they are classifying institution depending upon their practices, etc. And now, within 2.5 years, with the acquisition of so many things that is happening, innovations, and now we could see that it is already branded as an institution of promising growth. See, there are many institutions of national importance. The parents, the stakeholders will not show any sympathy to us. In order to attract better students, better faculty, to make this institution as competitive as any other old institution, we have to do these things, brand building. And I have already requested the director, within the next 2 years, we should also approach NIRF for ranking. Then NIRF also has classification for upcoming institutions, 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. That means we need not compete with those institutions which have put in 25 to 30 years of service. But there is a classic category of institutions which are upcoming, that is with less than 5 years, less than 10 years. So we must move in that direction to see that we can bring additional inputs, additional autonomy to the institution. And finally, we have to go for accreditation also, so that accreditation gives you more autonomy, more money. So accreditation is another buzzword used by the National Education Policy. So we should approach the accreditation agencies. It could be NBA, or it be an NAC, or another body is likely to come up. Thereby, we get more autonomy and also additional grants to take the institution further. And as you could see that in the last 2 years, there is a satisfactory growth and infrastructure has been built up. And in this terrain of uneven, challenging terrain, Somaya Julu and his team has put in a lot of effort to bring the structures already in place. And also I learned that the hostels are already in place. The students need not travel from the city to the institution and go back. And now, because the hostels are in place, I'm sure students likely to stay on the campus. The moment students are there, there is a life on the campus. So like this, the institution is growing. I only pray God to bless this institution to grow further, And there are many success stories to share. There is a good campus interview. People are getting the jobs based on the training, what we have gathered, what they acquired here. And we have started PhD programs. And last 1 year itself, we have got research grants up to 1 crore These are all not small items. I am in the higher education for the last 30 years. Some of the milestones that you people have achieved, getting a research grant of 1 crore in the last 1 year is a stupendous task. And it can happen only because of the faculty. So like that, the campus interviews have fetched good amount of students and they have got good honorarium. Similarly, research grants, labs, it's growing well. It's growing well. And we have to face the intense competition. Only when we face the intense competition, I'm sure the products will be better. So as I could see, as a teacher, as I could see, there are all good symptoms in this institution, starting from a barren land. It has grown up well, and as most of you have seen around your office, many new structures are coming up. And in the next 1 or 2 years, there will be a total infrastructure, both housing and residence plus for faculty and the students, and then it will be a real academic campus. So what our intention is, whatever may be the struggle, whatever may be the competition, we should improve the academic ambience. Academic ambience is the faculty, the infrastructure. And of course, there are challenges to get more and more faculty, but still it is going on. There is academic ambience has to be there. And equally important is the governance or the management ambience. The management has to be transparent and it should be accountable, and that is also being practiced in this institution. And the most important ambience that is required in an institution is the ethical or moral ambience. Most of the things must have seen in newspapers, etc. What we are missing in many of the campuses is this moral or ethical ambience. So academic, administrative, and moral ambience, all these things are in place as I could see, as I have seen in the Kurnool campus. So overall growth is excellent, and I only pray God to bless this institution for further growth, and it should be as competent as any other institutions of national importance. And I wish every one of you again a pleasant new year, healthy, prosperous year, and that should be reflected in the growth of the institution. So, Dr. Somayajalu, thank you very much for giving this opportunity to do this online inauguration of 2 important skill-oriented courses. I am sure in the coming days, in addition to the regular academic programs, we need to enrich the campus with more and more skill-oriented cases, score-oriented labs. And then the students they could be innovators, they could be entrepreneurs, etc. And thereby, we are also delivering the institution's social responsibility. And I hope we will succeed in all your efforts. And once again, I wish every one of you the best of everything in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your excellent inauguration speech as part of the beginning of the new year, first working day in the year 2022. Once again, on behalf of IIITM Kurnool, I thank you very much for sparing your valuable time and then address all the faculty and staff and the administrators. So, whatever the points you have highlighted, they're all very right points in order to keep the momentum high as far as the IIITM Kurnool is concerned. In fact, you have highlighted accreditation and additional skill programs are very important along with courses, and also we should maintain and then help the surrounding colleges also. So keeping that in view, the institute has already taken up certain initiatives earlier also. In fact, if I remember correctly, in 2021, you have inaugurated National Science Day at Kurnool, and that time our Department of Sciences has given training for 600 children in the campus by demonstrating the science experiments for the kids. So that program was well received. And again, this year we have planned to do it, but because of COVID, we are forced to cancel that program. But we'll continue your wishes and your aspirations in IIITM Kurnool, and then we'll keep our IIITM Kurnool flag high. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Sir, if you permit, I will quickly introduce the faculty because we have not met anybody.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Quickly. Sir, 5 minutes. I request you to spare your time.
No, should go ahead.
Is Dr. Satyababu, Associate Professor in Computer Science and Engineering. He, after serving around 8 years of service at NIT Rourkela, he joined here. Now he is heading the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. And Professor G. Radhakrishnaacharya, you know him, he is a senior visiting professor at the Department of Sciences. And Dr. Noel is a faculty in English, Department of Sciences. He joined in 2021 with the last recruitment. Then Dr. Ranjit, again faculty from Computer Science and Engineering. Dr. Peep, faculty of Computer Science and Engineering. Dr. Akhtar Khan, faculty in Mechanical Engineering. Then Dr. Nagesh Krishna Nayak, faculty in ECE. Dr. Nagaraju, faculty in Computer Science and Engineering. And Dr. Anil Kumar, faculty of Computer Science and Engineering. He is a visiting faculty DST Inspire Fellow, Dr. Reddy. And Dr. Ashwant, faculty of ECE. Then Dr. Murali, you know him, head of the Department of Sciences and also faculty of Physics. Dr. Mani Prakash, faculty of Mechanical Engineering. And Dr. Kabaleshwaran, faculty of Computer Science and Engineering. And Dr. Ravindra Katta, faculty of Department of Sciences, Mathematics. And Dr. Pandirajan, faculty of Sciences, Physics Department. So some of the faculty are busy in taking classes. That's why they are not joined this. But in addition to that, I will also introduce our non-teaching staff. Whoever is present here. One is Mr. Haider Ali is joined as a junior technical superintendent. Next. And Mr. D.V. Rao, junior superintendent admin. Mr. Vishnu is a junior assistant in admin section. And Dr. Mr. Askar, librarian, junior superintendent library. And Rasha, junior technician library. And Mr. Krishnamurthy, junior engineer electrical. And Mr. Srinath, junior engineer civil. Of course, you met him earlier. He is Mr. Vijayanand. He is a state office in charge and he is looking after the construction activities section. And of course, along with that, other supporting staff who are working on outsourcing are also joined this program. And some are busy with other activities, that's why they could not join. But once again, I thank you, sir, for sparing your time. Yes.
No. Somanajulu, I take this opportunity to congratulate and wish best of everything to each of the faculty. And as usual, I say, this is the brand. We would be the backbone of the institution. If the backbone is extremely strong, then the institution will be strong. I hope all of you will contribute to the strength and the achievements of the institution. And this can happen only each one of you, because most of you are already doctorates and some of you have done postdocs. And I expect each one of you to submit project proposals to the funding agencies. Usually when you go for accreditation, one important component is the projects and the funds that you have received other than the MHRD. The second thing is publications in peer-reviewed, high-impact journals. So these two things would reflect the research activities that are going on the campus. And already, as we have discussed some time back, the institution itself is also giving you some seed money based on your project proposal to start your research career. So if you succeed in that seed money, you can go for higher projects. So you have, I think you can get by my email ID. All of you can give me your feedback, what the Board of Governors can do for this institution. Because I cannot imagine what are your challenges and constraints and restrictions. So each one of you may feel free to give me a feedback, what exactly you want in the coming days through email ID. And whenever you send an email to me, mark a copy to the director. So all of us are in the loop so that all of us can work as a team to enhance the richness of this particular campus. So one is research component and the projects and the publications. Equally important is how we train our students. So the training program, many times it is reflected in how the vertical growth of the students take place. So after your graduation, B.Tech from IIT, IIIT Kurnool, where all they ended up? How many took up the research programs? How many entered as a PhD students, or even the campus interviews? So all these indicators after graduation will tell us, will reflect the type of training we have offered. So many institutions, they boast that their campus interviews, they have fetched 60 lakhs, 70 lakhs, or some of the institutions boast that many of the students have joined as research PhD students in some reputed institutions. So one is research on your own, another is how good the training is reflected by the performance of our students. So if these two things can happen, then the strength and the visibility of the institutions will be better. To achieve these two things, you need administrative support. And we are here to extend whatever administrative support you need. Feel free to send me the feedback. And last word, I usually as a teacher, I tell you, the faculty, are the academic parents. The children are with you, leaving their homes. So biological parents are at home, but you are the academic parents. So make sure that as an academic parent, you do whatever you want to do to your children at home, thereby the institution is going to be benefited. So I take this opportunity to wish you, each one of you, everything, the best of everything in the coming days. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sunil. I request Dr. Satyababu, head of the department, CSE, to kindly present vote.
Good evening, sir. At the outset, I thank our beloved chairman, Professor H. Rangana, for sparing his valuable time and inaugurating these two skill-oriented labs, the language lab and high-performance computing laboratory. I'm being told by a director that you always wish to visit our campus, but due to this pandemic, it has been a difficult time for all of us. And I hope that let this pandemic flash away immediately, and we wish to meet you at the earliest, sir. And next, I wish to propose my vote of thanks to our beloved director, like Professor Ranganath has already given the hint that even a nourished seed, if it is given, either it is in a barren land or a wetland or any land, definitely the fruits will come out, the tree will grow. That is what happened with our director. Even a barren land was given to us with the terrain or whatever the type of the land is given us, but we have raised here buildings with the support of the BOG members and all the eminent personalities of the country. Thank you very much, sir, for encouraging us always to come out with new ideas and come out with some new innovative methods to go on with the teaching the students and also to establish our own laboratories in the campus. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to propose the vote of thanks next to the two in charges of these laboratories, Professor Noel, who is in charge of the language laboratory, and Professor Shaunak Chakravarti, who is in charge of the high performance computing laboratory. Both have struggled a lot to set up this laboratory. I also propose my vote of thanks to the network engineer, senior network engineer, Mr. Venkateshwarlu, who has tirelessly worked to set up this lab. And I propose the vote of thanks to three of our students, basically named third year B.Tech students named Rufus, Giridhar and Abhishek, and Sridhar to Srish to make that beautiful video for inaugurating this event. Thank you very much, students. And I also thank the estate section, Mr. Srikanth and his team totally for helping us in setting up the electricity and then all the other installations for this laboratory. Thank you all the students who have supported, all the faculty members who have supported, all the supporting staff, everybody who have supported in setting up these two beautiful labs. We hope to keep up the aspirations of the chairman and will work under the leadership of our director to bring up and keep up your aspirations, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir.